The NCAA is facing a crisis. All events have been moved to the spring semester. Is this feasible? We'll be looking at feasibility from a facility standpoint to see if universities can even host all events in a 4-month period. We'll dive into D2 and D3 athletics and look at schools that represent some statistical averages of colleges at that level. In Division III athletics, there are approximately 18 varsity sports at each university, with the NCAA currently sponsoring 28 different sports and the average school boasting around 1,700 students. In Division II athletics, there are approximately 16 varsity sports at each university. The NCAA sponsors 25 different sports, and each school has an approximate population of 2,500. For our D3 example, we'll look at Wilmington College. In Southwest Ohio, approximately 40 miles outside of Cincinnati, Wilmington has around 1,300 students in 18 varsity sports. Wilmington is my alma mater, and after graduation, I served as an assistant basketball coach where I was a game day administrator during my off season. Herman Court is the home of volleyball, wrestling, and men's and women's basketball. Current conference scheduling calls for alternating schedules with men's and women's basketball. They both play the same team, the same day, just during opposite locations. Wilmington wrestling hosts 2 meets per year, and the volleyball team has 6 matches per year. Williams Stadium is currently the home to 5 teams at Wilmington: men's and women's soccer, football, men's lacrosse, and the track and field team. Current scheduling pits men's and women's soccer to play alternating schedules. Men's lacrosse plays on Wednesdays and Saturdays as well, and football is home every other Saturday with afternoon kickoffs. The track and field team also hosts 1 home meet per year. There are other potential practice facilities to help ease the burden. For indoor sports, the Quaker Wrestling Room provides a full practice facility for wrestling. For outdoor, the Center for Sports Science hails a 30 by 30 yard indoor and a 60 by 60 yard outdoor turf facility. Though full field workouts wouldn't be possible, they still provide a relief on the strain in practices within the college. Wilmington and the college will have to make significant changes to make this feasible. The conference would have to rework scheduling to play on every day of the week, not just Wednesdays and Saturdays, to provide ample field time for the athletes. The schedule adjustment would allow games to be played every day, but allow same sports to play the same day as the opposite sex at different locations, as they're doing. The college would have to adjust their current GDA situations. Assistants would no longer be able to be the GDA as practices and games would overlap with each sport. The college would need to either create a new GDA specific position for hire or place a heavier burden on administrators, as the AD and assistant AD are the only positions where they are not current head coaches. For a D2 approach, we'll look at the University of Findlay. In Northwest Ohio, the University of Findlay has around 2,500 students and sponsors 22 NCAA-sponsored sports. Findlay competes in the GMAC Conference, which consists of schools in Ohio, Michigan, Tennessee, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Nycamp Arena is home to Findlay's volleyball, wrestling, and men's and women's basketball teams. Like the OAC, the GMAC plays alternating schedules for men's and women's sports. Men's and women's basketballs play every Thursday and Saturday. Volleyball plays every conference game on Friday and Saturday, and wrestling only hosts 3 meets per year in a normal season. Outdoor sports have more freedom within the university, as they have 3 different full-time game day facilities for sports they usually share. Soccer has their own facility, women's lacrosse has their own facility, and football and track and field split a facility with Findlay High School. Due to the freedom in multiple facilities, the university will have easier go with scheduling practices throughout all sports. The football facility will cause some problems just through sharing with the high school. Though, according to the NCAA, it's very common for Division II schools to split football facilities with local high schools. The school soccer program split use of a soccer-specific field on campus, and the school has the Armstrong Sports Complex, which houses the lacrosse program. There are also other practice facilities on campus that would ease the burden of games occurring at the same time. The Malcolm Athletic Center hosts indoor track events and wrestling invitationals. The multi-service floor can also be used as practice surfaces during bad weather days. The Armstrong Complex is also home to several soccer and football practice fields. The Great Midwest Athletic Conference will have to adhere to some scheduling guidelines to make the season playable. The conference spans across 5 states, meaning they would have to constantly adapt to 5 different sets of state guidelines. Scheduling would become difficult as leagues would have to adapt to different rotations to continue to use the same facilities. Findlay's athletic department is over twice the size of a school like Wilmington's. The staff has 11 full-time staff in administration and marketing. Though the size of the athletic department is tremendously greater, having the necessary game day administrators throughout the campus would be feasible for the athletic department based upon their size. They would still have to adapt accordingly. Comparatively, across Division III athletics, Wilmington's facility situation is average. Previously, they had a soccer-specific field, but tore it down and built the Center for Sports Science. Schools that have soccer-specific stadiums will be able to handle more games than colleges like Wilmington, who opted towards multi-purpose fields with synthetic turf. The feasibility of hosting events will vary from school to school, and even across all divisions. Schools within each conference will face varying challenges. Even in the conferences we just looked at, Lake Erie College, within the GMAC, has one athletic field for soccer, football, lacrosse, and track and field, and also shares it with the local high school. Most larger colleges at the Division II and III level will have no problem with providing adequate facilities to safely manage a full year's worth of sports in one season. When we see colleges that have multi-use facilities, there will be minimal room for error, and departments will have to work tremendously hard. And all this will occur before COVID considerations are even taken into account. There will be a point where some small colleges will have to cancel games, or maybe even in some cases seasons, just based upon an overuse of facilities or even cancellations due to weather. Colleges will face a whole new world when trying to organize and plan seasons accordingly. The COVID-19 pandemic hit everyone like a ton of bricks in March, including myself being a college athlete. How the pandemic will be affecting the spring is uncertain. There will be added circumstances on cleaning and monitoring, but athletic departments will be able to have adequate facilities with proper scheduling for sports to concur. I believe that it will happen.